Hello, do you want a hug or something? I do. And I'm sure you do too. You deserve it. Today I wanted to talk about this video I saw that had to do with content creation called You Don't Care About Small Creators. I know I'm gonna butcher the name. I'm sorry, dude in the video. Kalso Baku, I think that's how it's pronounced. We're gonna double check because that'd be embarrassing. Kalso Baku. Hey, I got it right. Alright. Now, alright, maybe I should just get into the meat and potatoes of this instead of rambling like I usually do, but, you know, I'm sure we all like to ramble if we make content. And you know what? I've grown to a place to where I don't really care how many views I get anymore. Sometimes I'll even... And you know, I kind of set myself up for that because I make all my videos for adults only. Because, you know, I say bad words and run into some pretty colorful characters on Team Fortress 2. But I do that to myself. But anyway, enough about me. We're gonna take a look at what Kalso Baku has to say about small creators.
About 30 seconds in, and only 29% of people that clicked on the video are still watching. And by a minute and a half, only 17% remain. You wanna know how many people actually watched the entire fucking video? 5%. We live in a day and age...
We live in a society
where people are about as lazy as they have ever been.
Oh.
You could call it ADHD, which isn't even the right fucking term, by the way. If you have, like, a lessened patience for content because of short-form content, that's ADD, because there's no fucking hyperactivity. Now, I'm probably going to make a video in the future discussing the other two main aspects of the three biggest reasons why doing anything on YouTube sucks anymore unless you've already made it. But I have to say, the biggest and most overlooked is that
That guy's got a really good jawline, actually. Like, shit, damn.
The viewer are making things worse, and you might not even know it. And I don't blame you for not knowing it, because there have been a great deal of everything ever trying to keep it hidden from you, or trying to get it to where you don't care, or playing on the fact that you're more inclined to sit back and not care. While you may hear a lot of YouTubers complain about the algorithm, because the algorithm is a nightmare, it's atrocious.
Honestly, I feel like the algorithm on my end works pretty decently. Like, there's this one time where my Darkest Dungeon video got like 60 views, and I was like, wow, how did that happen? But, you know, honestly, I feel like what happens with creators, and you know, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to feel heard, loved, and appreciated, and feel like what they do has meaning, and that they personally matter. However, what I recently discovered is that you can find that within yourself, and you do not necessarily need other people's approval. Now, if you're doing it because you want, like, money and, like, a big community, that's another thing. That's another thing. And you know what? That's perfectly okay, too. I think that, you know, this guy right here is just a little bit too desperate for it, and it actually makes me kind of sad. Because, you know, the stuff he says definitely does have some truth to it. But at the same time, our job as content creators is to give people a reason to care and go outside their comfort zone. Like, I don't think the audience owes us anything. We should do this because we want to do it. And, you know, of course, I would like to get big on YouTube too, but, you know, that's not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to, like, have more meaningful, like, romantic relationships and friendships, and that's done in real life, not on YouTube. Speaking of which, I have to get out of the house today. I was rambling. Let's move on to the next point.
One of the biggest determining factors of the algorithm is the audience. Now, I want to put this out here right now. If you don't watch my videos, unsubscribe. If you do not watch the content I make because you like seeing content made from me, and you don't comment down below or engage with the video and actually want to be a part of this channel and community, then fuck off.
Well, that's not very nice. Listen, you know, I get where he's coming from, and it's good that people engage, but at the same time, people got their own lives to worry about. They have jobs, and they got their own stuff to worry about. And, you know, if they choose to, like, leave a positive comment, in my channel at least, I heart it, I give them a thumbs up. Honestly, it makes me feel pretty good. But I feel like the problem with creators is that they want to make it big. I'm sure we all do. But eventually it just gets to a point where it's like, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't it working? Why aren't people engaging? It must be the audience's fault. And I don't believe that's necessarily true. I mean, in theory, there could be another person like Markiplier, or PewDiePie, or Jacksepticeye tomorrow that starts up a YouTube channel and it gets a ton of traction. You just gotta find your niche. And for some people, that could take forever.
Okay, it's a bit rude, but, like, actually unsubscribe. Because the lighting changing screen bugged me. Because if you stay subscribed, and you see my video and you recommend it next time I upload, and you don't click on it, or you click on it for like 3 seconds and then click off because you're disinterested. If you subscribe for the FNAF content, you can unsubscribe.
Oh.
Because the way YouTube works is that when they determine
Go off, King.
your video is able to be put out there and pushed, they usually go off your subscribers first.
Really?
And when my subscribers don't click on my video or don't watch the video, YouTube thinks that I'm full of shit.
Well, that part I don't understand. Like, what do you mean YouTube thinks you're full of shit if your subscribers don't interact with your stuff? Does it just not, like, further push it out there? Like, I mean, for example, I posted a video of me doing a front flip. Speaking of which, you should go check that out. And that got, like, 400 views, and I was even surprised at, like, that. Honestly, I just feel like he's putting all his eggs into one basket. And, you know, he's worrying himself to death about... Well, I don't know, it almost seems like his self-worth is based on the amount of interaction he gets off of YouTube. And later on he will say that he wants to have, like, a community of some sorts. And, you know, that's pretty good, but I don't think it's worth driving yourself completely bonkers or, like, bashing on other people in order to achieve that end.
That tells YouTube that I make bad content and shouldn't be pushed. Not to mention the fact that they then source it further to random people, and depending on the type of people that my videos get sent to who aren't subscribed, that could make or break it. And that's just random chance at that point. But the average YouTube viewer is so much less forgiving than ever before. The video's titled the way it is because, in truth, you probably don't care about small creators. And I know everybody likes to say that they, hope and root for the small guy, the little guy, the fun little small channel that's trying to do its own thing and whatnot. But end of the day, you've been so conditioned to YouTube being this place to just get whatever you want at your leisure that you're no longer willing to give other people as much of courtesy.
But, and I get where he's coming from. Like, ideally, if somebody clicks on the video, they will give it a chance and, like, watch it through. However, I just think that that's always been the case where people are just naturally drawn to things that make them feel comfortable. Like, this isn't some kind of new thing. Like, people have always sought comfort. That's why, we have so many objects to make our lives easier. And people tend to go towards things they naturally like more. And, should they give people a chance? Probably, but are they entitled? Do they have to give us a chance? No, they do not. And, you're... Like I said before, this guy's gonna drive himself crazy over the opinions of other people, and that's just not really a great place to be. I would know.
It's no longer a website predominantly held with the interest of seeing creativity. It is now a website held with the interest of staying in your lane because that's what you're comfortable with. People don't want to explore anymore. They don't want to find new content or see new creators or see new things because they're content with the stuff that they have.
Yes.
I bet you have a long list of accounts that you're subscribed to, a bunch of channels that you're subscribed to that you don't even fucking watch anymore. Unsubscribe from them.
Actually, he's correct about that one. At least for me, I do have a bunch of people that I'm subscribed to, but, I wasn't aware that the algorithm punished creators if their subscribers didn't interact with their stuff. It's like, who cares? Like, that shouldn't even be a problem. I mean... And honestly, I would appreciate it if you guys would go around and share my content. I used to be afraid to even mention stuff like that because I thought it made me seem a bit disingenuous. And I think it's okay as long as I have a certain amount of authenticity to it. Of course, all creators want to grow. That would be the goal. But, now that I am content where I am and can release control of whether I grow on YouTube or not, it actually makes me feel a lot more relaxed. I'm like the bad boy of YouTube. Oh, I'm gonna say fuck and shit. Like, damn, son.
Because it gets to the point as well that you being a subscriber and not watching the videos means that other people who are subscribed and do want to watch the videos don't get it in their recommended feed because you didn't watch it.
That's a stupid design.
The viewer have the most initiative in any given circumstance, and the fact that viewers anymore are completely apathetically lazy it makes YouTube a nightmare for creators.
Now, I don't think lazy's the right word here, because are you saying that if they were like watching your videos or my videos, they wouldn't necessarily be lazy? I think the alternative solution to avoid being lazy would be to go outside and like do stuff in the real world. And that's actually been something I've been working on. I've walked my dog around the neighborhood. I love running with him. It's still hard to get out of my comfort zone. I recently tried again. It didn't go great. It went alright, better than last time, but I still haven't found like a genuine connection yet. However, what I do have is I have hope that one day it will get better. And for my advice for this guy would be to just, let go of control. You're gonna drive yourself nuts.
Especially with the attention deficit that's going on. By allowing yourself to get your mind rotted by the short form content, the funny little autopilot, let it entertain your brain for you so you don't have to do anything. So you can just sit there and burn hours. It becomes incredibly harmful for everyone.
Well, yeah.
Relatives to it. It becomes harmful for you because you probably have stopped enjoying a lot of the things that you used to. You probably don't do the same things that you used to anymore because you probably ran out of patience for it because you just sit there and feel instantly bored. You stop having fun with it.
I mean, kinda, but what I do is I play God of War Ragnarok a lot because I'm good at it and I like the story and game. And I just use YouTube to like have background music. Or shit, I don't even do that anymore because I wear headphones and play God of War Ragnarok that way. But I axe throw, I dance, and this just seems like a large generalization assumption about people. And it's very easy to make a lot of these assumptions about people we do not know, because it's probably easier for this guy to say, well, you guys are just brain rotted. You guys are just brain rotted. You wouldn't. Well, he didn't say this one. I'm just putting words into his mouth. But you wouldn't know good entertainment if it slapped you on the ass. And he did say that they had absurd expectations for entertainment. And, I mean, honestly, people can have as high as expectations for their entertainment as they want to. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you, but if you think my video sucks, then you're entitled to think my video sucks. I'm gonna try not to cry myself to sleep over it, but that's just kind of how it is.
That's because of the short form content. And I'm not saying this as just some fear-mongering conspiracy theorist. This is something that I have proven in my personal life. I have had somebody tell me that they've lost interest in a lot of their passions. I take their phone, I show it to them, and I say, uninstall this, and I point to TikTok. I tell them to uninstall TikTok. They do it, and I just said to them, you only have to for like a week. You can have it back, but I just want to see if having it gone for just a week would change anything. And but only days, they reported that they've picked up their interests a lot more.
Now, I do believe that's a true story, but let's say, for example, that I don't really see how this relates back to not caring about small creators. I mean, maybe they're just not interested in us in particular. And it kind of sucks, but we shouldn't base our self-worth on other people's opinions. Now, I don't really know what this guy's content looks like. I just know it gets more views than mine does. But, I just don't see how, like, if somebody picked up their interest again, like, what makes you think that interest is necessarily going to make them want to watch your video? Like, my interest is parkour, axe throwing, a little bit of swing dancing, Dungeons and Dragons, making low effort YouTube videos, rambling, and looking for a girlfriend. Those are my interests. Speaking of which, any single ladies, hit me up in the comments. Much appreciated. Thanks, queens. But, Yeah, those interests might not necessarily involve us.
Because when you make it to where the funny TikTok is what you go to when you're bored, you end up with situations where there's nothing good to watch on YouTube. There's nothing good to do gaming-wise. You don't have the patience to deal with most things gaming-wise. You don't have the passion for most things that you usually do. Because your brain runs on dopamine when it comes to that sort of stuff. And if things can't give the dopamine that your brain's now used to, then it just doesn't fucking work anymore. You
Right.
are destroying your own entertainment experience all across the board.
You know, I think the answer to that would just be like trying new things. And I think that's kind of what this guy might be alluding to. Shit, I forgot what I was gonna get on about. I think I was just gonna repeat the same point. Oops. Ignore that.
And it's so easy to fix, but you probably don't want to. And you know why? Because we're all creatures of habit. Well, I could fix it, but I don't wanna. I'm too lazy. You know what that sounds like? A whole lot of bitching.
That's funny because this guy is bitching too. And I mean, I bitch sometimes too. I think a lot of people do. I think everyone does. I think not everyone just admits to it. But I don't think that being like, oh, you guys are lazy, you don't want to fix the problem, that's not gonna make people want to change. If you want people to change, you need to come at them with understanding and love, because all mocking them and saying how lazy they are and stuff like this is gonna make them want to do. It's gonna make them want to retreat even further into their hole, so that way they can shield themselves, protect themselves from the change. So if we're kinder to people, that might make them actually want to, change, instead of being like, you're lazy, you suck, the hell are you doing, you disgust me, get out of here.
A whole lot of excuses. And I'm not gonna sit here and treat you nicely for it, because that's making my job harder. Or that's not even my job. At this point, it might not ever be my job. You know why? 'Cause dumb fucks like you aren't letting me. Aren't letting me cook. You ain't letting me cook.
Ain't letting them cook. Well, it's kind of sad, and I hope that and pray this does become your job. I believe you deserve it. I don't have any reason not to think that. But, dude, like, you're gonna drive yourself nuts. You're not having fun. It's clear about that. You're not having fun with, like, making content. And if you're not in it, the viewer's not gonna be in it either. People can tell if you're not, like, having a good time. I mean, it sounds like to me you're just doing this to see numbers go up and, like, get more engagement. And to a certain extent, that's alright. But, it just seems like you're trying to destroy yourself to reach this goal. Why don't you just focus on something else? Make the occasional video. And, well, come to think of it, I guess it would be nice if smaller creators did have a way to expand their platforms, but I don't really know how to solve that problem. But, it's just kind of sad.
It just... I don't know what the fuck that was. It's so just agitating when all you want to do, you just make some videos, get an audience. I don't even care if this is made into a career or not. I would hope that would be the dream, but like all I want is just a community that will interact with me, and all I have is 700 subscribers, and most of them are fucking dead. If I had 700 subscribers that actually subscribe to this channel to watch the content.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess the subscribers might not interact. I didn't even think about that. Hi, bubbies. But, you know, I mean... I can't really think of any advice to give this guy except for just, you know, kind of... You know, keep being creative, keep being innovative, and... You know, if it's too much for you, maybe you just try a different avenue.
And keep up with the community. I would have 700 comments for every video, but my videos consistently struggle to break 20 unless I make it about a conveniently relevant topic. And my videos end up with 5% of the fucking audience watching all the way through. I'm sorry if I'm getting a little heated here, but it's actually...
Oh, well, that's okay, King. We're helping you along. We're helping you along. We're gonna turn you into a big YouTube celebrity. Right? Everyone go subscribe and engage with this guy. Because I feel like it. Oh, be positive though. Don't like bully or anything. That's mean. I know that I can sound a little stilted when speaking, but you know that there's no point in like bullying anybody. Unless if they're, you know, being a shithead and you need to put a stop to it, but I don't feel like that's this guy. I think he just genuinely wants success so bad, and, you know, it's relatable. And I hope this guy gets what he wants.
Aggravating. It really is. And if this doesn't apply to you, you're actually somebody that goes out of their way to watch videos of new creators, and you don't just immediately click off the moment that they fail to entertain your obscene standards. This video isn't, you know, directed at you, obviously. I'm not yelling at you if you're not part of the problem, but if you're part of the problem, stop treating that as if that's a good thing. The average user, there's a man carrying things skit that accurately summarizes a visual representation of what I'm talking about, where you could find a channel that really just does it old school, does it just like the way that YouTube used to be, and then there'll be people that they say they like older channels, they're just like, man, oh man, this video, oh this YouTuber, it's just, oh it really harkens back to the way YouTube used to be, and anyways, Mr. Beast, I guess maybe that's not a relevant example anymore. I think an accurate way to summarize where the source of my anger comes from is simply the fact that this channel was founded on the ideals and beliefs, and I'm sure I've said this before at some point, of just community first. I just want people who like the content and want to be a part of the community. But apparently, just you know, making videos with that general intention in mind, but never explicitly stating it, isn't fucking working! Then I'm just gonna outright fucking say it. If you don't want to be a part of this channel and community, kindly remove yourself from the premises and have a nice day.
Well, you know, I think that Nelly really nailed the point across. Hang on.
It's such an astronomically far cry to even assume that YouTube is remotely community-based anymore. The community on YouTube is kind of dying. And that's because the average viewer no longer actually wants to be on YouTube because of the creator sphere. They want to be on YouTube so that way 10 different people can talk about the same topic over and over again because they give into their hyperfixations and never really branch out with anything else outside of that,
Hey, wait a second. If I'm making a video, like, talking about this guy, talking about this thing, uh-oh. Well, I'm not sure what to think about that. I mean, yeah, if people want to watch people talk about the same thing over and over and over again, you know what? That's their right to. I mean, we can't exactly, like, poke and prod people to be like, come over here, we're gonna force you to watch us. Like, I'm gonna tie you, the viewer, to a chair, and I'm gonna force you to watch videos of mine, all of them, all the way through, and leave a comment. And, yeah, you know, I don't think we should do that.
becomes really, really demeaning when your topic-based content gets completely, like, valued and favored monolithically compared to your original content, skits or sketches.
Well, that's because I believe that you are serving the algorithm and you're not really serving yourself. Well, maybe that's not entirely true. I do believe that this guy, you, do what you want and, like, do things you enjoy and hope to get a community from it. But at the same time, you're, like, so worried about the algorithm and success that, you know, it's kind of like an obsession. And, you know, it's gonna affect your mood and creativity and... But hey, I mean, if you keep putting out bait videos like this to kind of vent and get people to click on it, I mean, I guess I can't really say too much about it being bait. I fucking clicked on it. But, you know, I mean, yeah, just sad, you know.
This channel was very much going to be part gaming, part sketches, part doing whatever the fuck else. But because of the fact that now I didn't want to worry about numbers, but now the fucking viewers are worrying about numbers. People who have actual fan bases and actually have a subscriber count or whatever are getting chastised by the actual community that actually, you know, speaks or comments.
That background noise isn't my background noise, that's his. Well, of course there's a ever-present air conditioner. I'm sure you can hear it right now. I still don't know what to do about that, but that car driving by was on his end.
And saying they fell off if they ever just drop in numbers.
Hang on.
Chastised by the actual community that actually, you know, speaks or comments, saying they fell off if they ever just drop in numbers, even though that's not even their fault.
I wanted to bring that up. Dude, it's a meme. It's a joke. Well, like, I doubt it's coming from a place of seriousness. Like, I mean, I'm sure... I don't take... If I got something like that on this video, I wouldn't take it seriously. It's like, oh, you got your two views instead of your normal 6. You fell off. I've seen people on, like, Moist Critical's videos be like, oh, 2,000 views in, like, 6 seconds, you fell off. What? I think it's just a joke. But the problem is that we don't have the perceptions of, like, other people on what they mean by that, so we just have to make assumptions. If we just stop making assumptions about other people and get to know people, everything will be much better. And, you know, it's a pretty difficult habit to break.
It's mostly the viewer's fault. Well, okay, it's half the viewer's fault, because the other half of the problem is the algorithm. But the fact that you make up half of the problem is still something that you should change. And I know yelling at people to change because it's harmful to everybody is probably not going to do fuck all because of how, like, stacked against anybody who does try to change the odds are.
Well, maybe you don't yell at people to change. Maybe you just kind of, change yourself, be the change in the world you want to see, and hopefully people will follow suit. And if they don't, we don't have control over other people. They're their own people. They could do what they wish.
Because YouTube really tries to lock you in your lane now. This is something that the website itself even tries to do, which means it's a considered effort, and whenever people go to YouTube, they most likely don't want to put in fucking effort, and it's that kind of mentality that also makes it to where short form content and anything that has the ADHD spastic editing and whatnot, the kind of editing that makes someone like me want to rip my eyes out anytime I even attempt, it makes it easier to go to those videos, because those videos mean you put in minimal effort. You don't have to do any mental work to get the jokes or to even process the fucking words on screen, because your eyes and ears are getting the same information at the same time, meaning it's just instant transmission. There's no thinking behind it. You just sit there and quite literally mindlessly take in the content, probably forget it the moment after. But I don't believe it's getting this bad. With the fact that the Pyro Live is actually unironically putting Subway Surfers in the video anytime he has to explain something, it's dystopian. Like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and put anything stimulating in the corner. I'm not going to sit here and make the editing, like, constantly so active that your brain doesn't have to turn on. If you don't want...
I'm sorry, I lost attention. I was playing Clash Royale on my phone. Oops, sorry.
Want to pay attention to the fucking video, then you can just go away.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Alright. I think that's good enough. Now, I kind of wanted to finish the video because I don't feel like it's fair to just not attempt to see the whole argument and stuff like that, but, And you know what's funny is that this is actually one of his more viewed videos, so I'm pretty sure that means he's going to make more videos like this to get more views, and, quite frankly, I mean, if this is where he wants to put his time and energy to, like, get an audience in, like, just complaining about how being a small creator sucks, I mean, go for it. But, yeah, I just wanted to take a look at this because it kind of struck a chord with me. I mean, look at this. You see my little background here? I paid money for this, under the assumption that I was going to be some kind of, like, big streamer or big YouTube star. But, in hindsight, I think even if that did happen now, I don't think that it's for me. I honestly think that I prefer just kind of making videos whenever I feel like it. Not really having to worry about, like, constantly being a juggling monkey on a unicycle. And, it's pretty nice to do what I do. And, this actually made me think that, it's not disingenuous to kind of want a fan base or to want something like that. Now, I don't know if this applies to him, but for me, it feels kind of like a validation thing. It's like, oh, I'm putting the effort into my videos, I'm trying to innovate, I'm trying to, like, do new stuff, and yet nothing changes, and, I think the solution is to just kind of let go, relax. If it comes, it comes. If not, well, that's fine too, but to Kalso Baku, and I apologize for not being able to remember your name, but you know, you can't control other people, and you know, I know that you want an audience so bad, and you deserve to have that audience, but you know, I mean, if you think you can make people change, you should try to go for it. But honestly, I think that more effort should be put into making your content better. And I haven't seen the other videos you put out, so I would not know what that content is. But, you know, improvement isn't... There's no end goal for improvement. There is no end goal. I had to learn that myself. You can't just... It doesn't stop. There is no end goal for self-improvement or improvement on your videos or improvement anywhere. There will always be mistakes. There will always be something you wish that could be better. But the point is that we're gonna drive ourselves fucking bonkers if we just keep chasing this thing we want so badly without, you know, giving ourselves care. And, you know, honestly, I was debating on putting, like, some kind of Venmo thing down in my description and just not mentioning it. I mean, it would be nice to make money off my videos. I feel like a lot of people would like that. And, you know, I don't believe it makes people disingenuous for wanting to do so. However, I do believe that if it doesn't happen, then you shouldn't be too upset about it. And, you know, not that I'm saying that this guy is going after, like, money or whatnot. I'm sure that the community stuff is true, but, you know, part of being a bigger creator is you get a paycheck from your videos. And, you know, it would be nice, but... Alright, I think I'm talking in circles. My apologies. I don't think I'm gonna put the Venmo thing in my videos yet, as I do not believe that they are of good enough quality in order to do so. When I believe that they are good enough quality for myself, then I will do so. But, you know, honestly, I just kind of enjoy making these and chatting and talking, and, you know, I think that's the most important part of content creation. I mean, sometimes it could feel like we're just yelling into a void, and, you know, that might be accurate, but at the same time, we gotta let go. And speaking of which, I gotta let go and do some exercise. I'm going to the gym. I'm not gonna procrastinate today, and I'm ending the video right now. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.